Hi everybody, Eric Miller from FitEDU here for another edition of FitBuilding. Today we're going to talk about breathing and how that correlates to the start position in the deadlift and when we pull things up off the floor. Here's where it applies. On last Friday I was doing some deadlifts with some kids in here and I was able to pull 500 really easily with no belt. I don't think I've ever pulled 500 without a belt before. And the only thing I could think of, and I had no backgrounding at all, no postures, holding steady, and pulled it no problem. Also took 8 seconds to put it down and put it down really softly. You couldn't even hear it hit the ground. That's how much control I had, and I attribute it mostly to the breathing practice I've been doing. So a couple things here. Let's come over here to the weights. I got weights set up. I don't know if you can see it. I got weights set up in here because I want to talk about the bottom of the deadlift quickly. And this is something that I think is missed the most when pulling off the floor, is learning how to get tight out of the bottom and taking the slack out of the entire system. So the bar, the weights themselves, and then your body, what's where the breathing comes in. You take all that slack out of the system, and as soon as you apply force to the ground, the barbell moves. There's none of this movement where the hips come up first and then the bar comes up off the ground, okay? So a couple things that I need to show you first is the equipment itself. There's some play, you hear that? There's some play within the bar and the system here, okay? Just so the bar can slide through. We want to make sure before we pull off the ground that we take the bar to the top of the plate, okay? Put some tension into the system, remove some slack, get our nice deep breath, and then pull off the ground, okay? Because most bumper plates like this, they have this ring, and this sometimes moves inside here. We tightened these up recently, so they're a little tighter than they are in some spots, but it moves a little bit, so we got to take that slack out. If you're working with metal plates, there's definitely space in there that you need to take out of the system. So I'm going to put you back up here, and I'm going to do a rep. Let me get set here. And this is kind of my setup here when I get ready to deadlift. So I'm off high blocks just for the sake of you being able to see me, but I get my hands set, I set my feet up first off the blocks. I'm going to be nice and close to the bar, drive my butt back, and then I'm going to take a nice, big, deep belly breath, and at the same time, I'm going to try to wedge myself underneath this bar and take the bar and the middle circles of the bumper plates to the top of the rubber and get rid of all the slack in the system. So feet are set, hands are set, take my big inhale, plates to the top, bar to the top of the plates, and then we're up, okay, and come back down nice and under control. All right, so if this is something you want to work on, here's what I recommend. You do a set of deadlifts, practicing that, and then as you rest, you practice some breathing exercises. And I'll show you, I'll see if I can get this down a little bit lower. Okay, one of my favorite postures is to just kneel, sit back on my heels, hands in my lap, fill my belly full of air, exhale all the way out, let the abs contract at the end, and really try to expand more and more as you go on. This is also a great stretch for the quadriceps and the top of the feet. I know a lot of guys can't even get in this position without some pain, so I've had some guys elevate themselves up on mats to do stretches and things like this. But try combining your lifting, maybe deadlifting, with some breathing exercise. And what you might feel is that the power you gain for being able to fill your belly with air and not just in your lungs allows you to add more weight. Okay. I was at a seminar, the Juniata Strength and Conditioning seminar a couple of years ago, and Cam Davidson, who's the strength coach from PSU, was talking about how he integrated 3 to 5 minutes of breathing exercises with the hockey players, and he had ridiculous increases in strength. And not only the young guys, not only the freshmen and the sophomores, but also the juniors and seniors who have been in the program for a long time made significant gains, more than he's ever seen before, and the only change was the breathing. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me on this episode of FitBuilding. Hopefully I see you tomorrow. Have a good one.